So when you tell somebody to picture their dream car, this is probably exactly what they picture. Okay, although this commercial is pretty sweet, it's probably not what they'd picture. But when you tell somebody you're going to convert a car into a camper van, this probably is what they're going to picture. Okay, that's not true either, but that's exactly what we did. And we're going to show you what that looked like. So a couple of years ago, my wife and I decided we wanted to go on this epic road trip. But with limited time and, more honestly, limited resources, we had to use what we had. And that was this 2005 Toyota Matrix. So in planning this maiden voyage, we realized one thing very quickly. We needed to have some type of accessible storage space that this car just simply didn't have. So the first thing we needed was a roof rack and a hitch to carry extra items. Unfortunately, I was busy working, so it was up to Laura to get the hitch put on and the roof rack and record herself doing that. And she hates talking in front of a camera even more than I do. But she was a trooper, so here she is.
So today our plan is to get a hitch put on our car. We're preparing for our trip, so today, hitch time. Then I'm gonna go over to another place, pick up our roof rack, and get our car ready. Alright, so hitch complete, finished at U-Haul. Now I'm over at Hitch City to get the supplies for putting in our roof rack.
Ooh, alright, pretty stoked today. I'm going to get to hopefully put on my roof rack. I can figure out how to do it. I'm also building a little bit of an interior racking system in the car so that we can hang some clothes, shoes, whatever we have, extra stuff when we're actually sleeping in the car. So we'll see how that goes, see if I can get it all done in one day. Check out the sweet ass whip. Look at this baby. Yeah. 100% camping vehicle. Oof. Sick. Alrighty. Here is the roof racking system. Let's see if I can't put this on top of my car without screwing it up. We'll see how it goes.
So in all honesty and transparency, this part is more of an unboxing video than anything else, but I figured it might be helpful to include it for those looking to get a roof rack system.
Instructions. Don't need those.
And that part might come back to bite me in the ass. So this is the Thule, I think that's how you pronounce it, Aero blade system. It was actually pretty straightforward to put together. I almost didn't need the instructions. You can see all the items here as I unbox it. There's some metal brackets that fit around the car.
And what are these?
And the actual racks themselves are almost already assembled.
Sweet.
It's just a matter of kind of putting the pieces together.
Alrighty. Let's do this.
And then just fidgeting with it on top of the car to get it to fit.
I might need these afterwards.
And here you can see what I was talking about, where everything kind of just clicks together. Literally. So this is the most exciting part of the video, where you can see me alcohol wiping down the top of my car. Okay, maybe I didn't need to include this, but it's part of the process. So here you can see me just starting to line it up. It came with that paper ruler, which actually is pretty handy. You just kind of got to adjust it from each side, tighten it a little bit so it stays in place until you kind of get it perfect. I left the front of the car kind of loose fitted, just a bit of a dry fit, just to make sure the back also lined up square. That was pretty important. I was following the instructions as to where it sat in relation to my doors, but then also for the roof carrier that we had. They have to kind of sit in a specific spot. And you just have an Allen key that just tightens them right up. And here's where you can see maybe I should have used instructions more. The blades are actually backwards for those of you who know the system. But in all honesty, it doesn't really seem to make a difference at all. And to this day, I actually haven't fixed them. I think it's more just for aerodynamics and sound anyways, and you really can't hear them. And then I gave the old shake test to make sure it was on there sturdy, and it passed.
So I got this roof rack, and we have a carrier that goes on it. And right before I went to Home Depot, I was checking out to see if this wrapped around the rack, and it does not. So
What the hell?
yeah, it's because we have a cheap ghetto carrier.
I don't know about ghetto. It's pretty top of the line.
It's pretty sick, but it has its own bolts that go into here. But I don't want to pay for those, and we already have a carrier. So instead, I went to Home Depot hoping I could find a wider U that would actually go around this. Luckily,
What'd you get?
good old Home Depot, my favorite shopping center, we got this, which, if I'm correct, whoa, look at that.
Like a glove. Woo.
I just eyed it in the store, but that seems pretty perfect.
Oh yeah.
So this mounts into the roof carrier and then around the roof rack. And that hopefully will stay in place. Boom.
Boom. Oh shit. Look at our sick home.
Now, how are we going to sleep in here? All of our seats here, as you can see, just fold right down. And then these seats can slide forward, and when they do, there's a gap here where we can fill some storage bins. So when we're not driving, we just push the seats forward, put the storage bins here, and it extends this whole distance of our car to be the full height of both Laura and myself. And I'm just under 6 feet, so it's a pretty good length. And if you look at the width of this entire space, it's actually slightly larger than a double-sized bed, so we can fit both of us in here pretty comfortably to sleep, as long as we have storage for stuff that normally is in here while we're driving, hence why we put the hitch on and we have the roof rack. Pretty sweet.
And here is just one of many trips to the local Home Depot to rip my hair out. Alrighty. I'd say that was a reasonably successful mission. I think I got all the hardware I needed, so hopefully this works out, and then I don't need to buy more crap. Oh, I love Home Depot. That was sarcastic. I think the most infuriating thing about Home Depot for me right now is in the loose ends, nuts and bolts, and hardware section. You go, you pick out your items you want. You're supposed to at least write down on the bag the item number for each piece you have in it, and then the quantity. So they have these pens that are attached to wires or chains, so you can write on the bags, and they have them at each section in that aisle. Except for someone keeps stealing the pens. It's just stupid for multiple reasons. Like, why are people stealing these pens? How much are pens? You can buy 10 of them for $1 at the dollar store. And then on top of that too, why, for the same reasons, why doesn't Home Depot replace the pens? I get it. It must be really annoying to keep having to reattach corded pens that people keep stealing for who knows why. But I'm sure a corporation like Home Depot could, I don't know, buy them in bulk for like a penny each.
What do we got over here?
It's just our sick-ass home where we're gonna live for 3 weeks.
Are you gonna live in here?
Yeah.
It looks spacious.
Oh, it's so spacious.
How much does a place like this go for?
You can afford it. Alright, so the game plan is, got this doweling I should say, at Home Depot. Bought these caps as well that fit over top of it. The idea is to string it through these carabiners, which will notch out a spot in the wood. And they're gonna go around both sides, and then we're gonna have little slats that go across as well. One of which is gonna be a bit of a curtain to close off the back for some privacy. And also hopefully we can store our shoes and hang some things off of it when we pull everything out of the back. But the problem is with this car.
There ain't no problem with this car.
There's no problem with this car. But there's a slight problem. Because on this side, there isn't an additional handle to put a carabiner on to hook onto, so that's not working. So, came up with a solution. So, went to Home Depot. I got this wing nut and bolt, and I replaced one of the screws here with a longer one and put this L bracket in. And then I also took this curtain rod and I just filed down the backside of it. Just give that backside a good rub.
You're always giving that backside a good rub.
Yeah. This way, oops, I can put this bolt and boom, and then I throw the old wing nut on the back. When that's all said and done, now I have this curtain rod here. So when I hang the horizontal strut off of this piece can then rest there as well. So now we have 4 corners pinned. So hopefully this solution will work, and then it can be supported enough to put some crap in here.
Some nice curtains.
Beautiful curtains. I'm gonna hand sew them myself.
Little Susie homemaker.
That's me. Okay, so here's what I'm calling the internal racking system. So I have these posts which hang vertically across the car. Well, I guess I should say spans from back to front. They're notched out for carabiners, so this one is the one that sits on this side of the car, and this one's for the other. Again, you can see I've notched out spots for carabiners. So it's a little rough, but I plan on sanding these down a bit and giving it a coat of black paint, which will make it feel a little bit less thrown together. So I've shaved out and filed these little grooves, which will let the horizontal slats, I guess, sit in the right position and stay there. And you sit like so. Again, I've written in permanent marker on all these, but I plan on painting them somehow so that they look a little more polished. And the last one. Alright, and there it is. So the idea here is that it sets up pretty quick, so we can do it within the car. All the pieces can sit against the side of the car out of the way when we're not using it. So this cross beam here is going to be the curtain rod, and then that last one, maybe we'll use it for some type of top support to hang clothes or to put a tablet to watch something when we're laying down. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use it yet, but kind of this is how it fits together. It's pretty quick. And I also put these adjustable footings for chair legs or tables to give it some cross tension in the car, and also stop it from scraping the fabric on the roof of the car. Same with these rubber ends, in case you bump your head, something like that. And then all these wing nuts screw up so that they are out of the way and safely away from heads and eyes excited to get it painted, make it look a little more polished and sand it down a bit more. And then I can show you what it looks like in the actual vehicle.
So yeah, it's a pretty simple build, and that was kind of the point. You could put it together quick, store it away, out of the way, and it's funny how just a little coat of paint just makes something look so much more polished.
So the last thing I need to do is I'm going to trace out these windows with a piece of paper. All of these guys. And then I'm going to build us some window coverings, which I'll attach Velcro along the edges of the window and have tabs on it. I think I'm going to use blackout felt to do it. And that way we can have some privacy as well as some blockout from sunlight. Although in November, I think the sun doesn't rise until after 8 and goes down before 8, so we should be fine for light. So it'll be more of a privacy thing. But the idea is to keep it non-destructive, so if I put Velcro here, I can easily remove that. It should be hopefully pretty basic to do. And yeah, that's the last thing.
So here you can see how the paper stencil was then cut out and felt with the tabs for the Velcro to be attached to and the template.
You weren't recording that, were you?
Yeah, I am.
You fucking dick. Oh, listen to that, baby. I'm crushing it. See this?
And this is my first time ever really sewing with a sewing machine.
How the pros do it.
And as you can see, I was pretty stoked.
What you making?
Making window covers.
And I'm not gonna lie, I really didn't have any idea what I was doing. But to be honest, everything came out really well, and I was kind of proud of myself. And there's the final cover. You can see I folded and double seamed the outside to keep it strong and have a little rigidity.
Alright, so here we are, back in the car. So, I have sewn these window covers here, so you can see. I'm trying to figure out which goes on which window. I'll have to mark that at some point. I think these are for the other side. So, these stick on like so into the window frame. Pretty cool. And they have Velcro all the way along them. So the idea is to clean all the edges and apply the sticky Velcro there, so it's non-destructive, so I can take it off later if need be. So yeah, I have these custom sewn. A couple late nights of me being a, I don't know what you would call it, a seamstress. And yeah, so I've made these covers that should just go on like so. And hopefully I have measured correctly and they'll fit. If I can hold this up, it'll be a lot easier when there's Velcro. Yeah. So let's get to clean the windows now. Alright, who's excited to see me clean some windows?
The rubbing alcohol was super important because otherwise these Velcro pieces would not stay because of that.
Look at that crap. Should do this more often.
And then here's how I actually attached it to the windows to make sure everything lined up perfectly. And there's the finished window cover. It kind of just looks like it's got a really dark tint. And then the final, probably least exciting thing we needed to do was to put on winter tires because we knew there was a large possibility that some of our drive in November was was going to be met with snow, and a bit of foreshadowing. A lot of it was. Alrighty, so I'm just driving to Laura's brother's to get my tires switched out. We have old winter tires we left on all season because we knew we were getting new ones, so now I'm getting the new ones onto the vehicle. Almost done all the car stuff. It's been quite a bit of work, so hopefully we're gearing down and getting the last bit of it done. And done. So here's the final build in all its glory. You can see that back hitch that has all of our camping supplies, water, camp stove, cooler. Up top we have the roof carrier with the crash pad, ski boots, snow blades, rope, other rock climbing equipment. Yeah, we kind of made the best out of what we had. So inside, you can see we fit basically a double bed inside, which is actually just our crash pad. We had the tablet that was hung from the top so we could watch movies while we were in the car. There was that little shelf that came with the car to put things on top of. You also notice that roof rack, or ceiling rack I should say, that we built to hang stuff from. And we actually put some foam in the windows to help keep us a bit warmer at night. All in all, it worked out kind of perfect and literally fit our crash pad end to end like perfectly. You can see we put some of the stuff in the back and the front seats to make space, and then we pushed those seats forward. You can also see our curtain. That was kind of both for blocking out light, giving us privacy, but also worked like a nightstand. I sewed those pockets you can see up top to put our phones into charge at night, lip balm, whatever we needed while we were sleeping, bottles of water even on one side. Again, underneath it, you can see we had our crash pad. It actually kind of folded up perfectly right at the seam there. And there's the 2 extra storage bins that are normally in the back, but we slide down to extend the sleeping area. And yeah, there's not a whole lot more to it. It worked out perfectly. And there she is, or he, in all of their glory. I'm pretty sure this car is one of a kind. And yeah, that's it, I guess. I hope to start editing together all the videos from our road trip. A little bit of climbing, a whole lot of driving, and some hanging out with friends. So that'll be the next thing that I sit down for hours on end and not sleeping and start to edit together. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully it was enjoyable, and maybe it gave you, some insight or some ideas as to how to make any vehicle work as a camper car.